You can hear my voice clearly there?
Yes, is it clear?
Yes. Okay, our session will be start 1 minute, in 1 minute. Okay. Are all the speaker and the participant already in this room? That's perfect. Let's visit. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? Our presentation of this conference is about to begin. Thank you very much for preparing yourself to join our virtual meeting. And first of all, I would like to share or play a profile video of our campus, Universitas Islam Madura, and then it will be continued by welcome video from our rector of Universitas Islam Madura, Mr. Ahmad Kasir, ISEC, MPD. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everyone. Respectable, sorry. Good morning, everyone. Respectable speakers from several countries and all participants of this virtual conference. Alhamdulillah, we have to give our gratitude to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala for giving us very great opportunity today to meet each other in very beneficial event. That is the first FICMAR or the first virtual conference of multidisciplinary research 2022 held by Universitas Islam Negeri. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I am Ina Darilhana, the moderator of today's parallel season. I'm very pleased to see you here and welcome all of you to this conference. Today's parallel season is about establishing connection among science, education, technology, and society to encourage student skill development in 21st century. First of all, before the presentation begins, let me inform how the presentation will be going on. First, the presentation of the material. Second is the question and answer session. Okay, you have just 15 minutes time for presentation, and if the time is more than 15 minutes, I will stop it. But I will give you a warning if the time is less than 3 minutes. I hope you all can understand about the rule of sessions. And now, based on the rundown that I have shared on the WhatsApp group, you can check the schedule of the presentation. Here, the first presenters is Mr. Benny Hamdani, SPD SSMPD, from Universitas Zainul Hasan Probolinggo, Indonesia. Are you ready, Mr. Benny? Mr. Benny? Are you there? maybe I can give the chance for the other presenters. Miss Masluhatul Fitria, maybe you can go first for presentation. Because Mr. Benny and Mr. Sahil are not here. Masluhatul Fitria. Can we start the presentation? Hello. Okay, there is trouble from the audio of Miss Masluhatul Fitri. Okay, we will go to the next presenter. Maybe. Dr. Prachi Vimontiani, can you start?
Yes, good morning.
Morning.
Am I audible?
Sorry.
Am I audible?
Yes, you can go first.
Yeah.
The first presenters.
A very good morning to one and all. Myself, Dr. Prachi Motiani. I am from School of Law, Gujarat University, Ahmedabad, India. Today, I am going to talk about the medicinal patent pull, a weapon for combating COVID-19. As we know that since last 3 years, we are suffering from the COVID-19. And
Tangan sus. Apa deh sus? Kalian tuh kan dibikin ada. Iya. Tuh di mana nih? Berenang EWA. Bener ya.
The other participant, please mute your microphone. Please mute.
yeah, may I continue?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So the coronavirus disease pandemic of 2019 is a major global public health emergency and has necessitated a great level of global cooperation. So the pandemic has from its outset raised the numbers of issues at the crossroads of the public health policy, trade policy, and the framework also for the management of innovations, including the
Sorry, doctor. Sorry, doctor. You can display your PPT.
yeah, just a minute. I am unable to do so. So may I proceed without PPT?
No problem.
I'm not able to hear you.
Yes.
Without
Yes,
PPT, can I proceed it? Okay.
just continue your presentation.
Yeah. So it was an urgent need to manage the innovations, including to the relating to the intellectual property rights. So almost new patent protected innovations have been employed in practice in response to the huge COVID-19 coronavirus crisis, taking from diagnostic, therapeutic, and medicinal equipment and vaccines of the COVID-19 for the prevention of the COVID-19. So what were the policy?
Lo kita ringin dia mungkin.
Kemarin kan sisa tahu lah. Ya, ada mau screen ng lab.
Participant, please mute.
Jadi mama kana aku nyarending ya tak remo kana.
Mute your microphone. Mas Lohatul Fitria.
Yeah, now muted. Okay. So what were the policy changes posed by the pandemic? So generally, the COVID-19 pandemic has granted the sudden far-reaching impact of our health system. So the major challenges were to monitor and to contain the spread of the virus. Second, to understand the relevant of the epidemiology. Third one is to mobilize and coordinate the requisite resources. Fourth one is to deploy the necessary healthcare system and infrastructure to ensure that the healthcare product technologies and the proactive equipment are available and can be accessed equitably in sufficient quantities at the worldwide. And apart from this, the another major challenge was to develop, test, manufacture, and ensure equitable access to diagnostic vaccines and therapeutic. So if I talk about the present patent system of the pharmaceutical protection, so the goal of the intellectual property laws is to compensate the innovation for the research and development. And the person who has invested in that research and development, that person has to be compensated. So the underlying this assumption of the system have been questioned, among other things, because the gap between the increasing the public financing for the pharmaceutical research and development and the emergence of the private health medicines. So in the year 1995, a set of global trade rules in the World Trade Organization, the WTO, agreement of the TRIPS agreement, which is known as a trade-related aspects of the intellectual property rights, established the minimum standards for protecting intellectual property worldwide. So these trade rules drastically impacted the human health, introduced near to the 2000s, pertaining to the, we can take the example of the HIV AIDS and the other global pandemic. So patenting of the pharmaceutical innovations and global pandemic COVID-19. So after the nearly 2 decades later, the global, the entire global community faces the familiar challenge of the maximizing the supply of the affordable new medicines which were needed to save of a pandemic. So generally there are 2 course of actions to ensure the intellectual property protection does not restrict access to potential pandemic medicines and the medicinal technologies. So the one avenue is for intellectual property owners to offer the affordable prices and adequate supply to voluntary licenses their COVID-19 medicines and share other forms of their intellectual property related to this product or to refrain from the enforcing their intellectual property rights on their COVID-19 medicines at the worldwide. So here the conflict was, if the protection of their patent is not given, so the rights of the pharmaceutical companies will be deprived. And if the patent is given, then the COVID-19 medicines would be not be able to, we can provide to the entire world at the affordable price. So this was the major challenge during the COVID-19 pandemic. So what was the challenges of the licensing the COVID-19 medicines? Because generally the example is the best solution is the compulsory licensing. But for the compulsory licensing is also, it is not the proper solution at the time of the COVID-19. So the WTO came up with the COVID-19 access to COVID-19 treatment and the medicinal patent pool. So what the WTO has suggested during this period, so 30 countries and the multiple international partners and institutions have signed up to support the COVID-19 technology access pool, which is known as the CTAP. An initiative aimed to making the vaccines, tests, treatments, and the other health technologies to fight the COVID-19 accessible to all. So the pool was the first proposed in the March by the President Carlos Alvarado of Costa Rica, who joined WHO Director General Dr. Tenders Endom to at the official launch of the initiative. So the COVID-19 technology access pool will ensure the latest and best science benefits of the all humanities, also which has been also given by the WHO. So the global solidarity and collaboration are essential to overcoming the COVID-19, said the WHO Director Dr. Tenders Endom. So based on the strong science and upon the collaboration, this information sharing platform will help provide the equitable access to life-saving technologies around the world. So there are the 5 elements of that initiative which has been released by the WHO. The first one is the public disclosure of the gene sequence and data. The second one is the transparency around the publication of all clinical trial results. Third one, the government and other funders are encouraged to include clauses in funding agreement with pharmaceutical companies and other inventors about equitable distribution with pharmaceutical companies. Another one is the licensing any potential treatment, diagnostic, vaccine or other health technology to medicine patent pool. A United Nations back the public health body that works to increase access to. And the last one is the promotion of open innovations, model and technology transfer that increase the local manufacturing and supply capacity, including through the joining of the Open COVID pledge and the technology access partnership. Now, at the end of this, become the pull between the patent and the accessible COVID-19 medicines during the COVID-19 period. So I can conclude by saying this: the COVID-19 pandemic has put huge strain on health and the trade system all across the world, while we are still working on a model for a few new system or the medical innovations and access. We have realized that the long overdue adjustment to the existing system are unavoidable. So as our past experience has shown, the current system is ineffective in ensuring the equitable access to medicines for all. So we must fundamentally and urgently rethink the model of medical innovation and access in order to ensure that we are able to find quick solutions for the development of the COVID-19 medicines that are accessible to all, as well as allowing us to be fully prepared for future pandemics also. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Betty B. Mutiani, for giving us such informative and interesting presentation.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ladies and gentlemen, now come to the question and answer session. I'd like to have 3 questions from the participants. Please use the raise hand feature in Zoom, then unmute your microphone and camera. From the explanation of Dr. Prechi, maybe there is something to ask.
May I ask the question to Dr. Prachi, the moderator?
Mr. Nadi.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. A very good morning, Dr. Prachi.
Very good morning.
I have some question. Actually, your presentation is very give us the motivation, especially for how combating COVID-19. My first question, I am curious about the Indian vaccine, like Covaxin and Covishield. In our country, we hear about how Covaxin and Covishield are produced in India. Maybe you can tell to us how Indian government developed this vaccine. And the second question, to what extent do the implementation of vaccination in India? Maybe our government Indonesia can learn more from India. Okay, thank you.
The answer to your first question, as we have discussed the farmers during this COVID-19, the formula was open, where the developed countries share their formula to make the vaccines to the developing countries. And out of that, once they share the formula, one of the Indian company has developed their COVID-19 vaccine. And as per the agreement signed between the WHO, so they are also obliged to share this COVID vaccines. They can produce the more and more COVID vaccines and also share with the other countries also. So due to this reason, the Adarsh Poonawalla, whose company, which company has generally the Covishield, produce the Covishield vaccines, they have prepared the Covishield vaccines out of the formula which has been received by the developed countries like UK and USA, and they produce it here, and also under the agreement which they have signed with the WHO. The India also export these COVID-19 vaccine under the obligation of the patent rules and the health guidelines, the bridge which has been provided by the WHO. India is also bound to provide the vaccines to the other countries also. Now, with respect to the second, the enforcement part of the COVID vaccine. So India has adopted the many system to channelize the entire vaccine system. First of all, they provided the vaccines to the frontline corona warriors. And after that, it also given also to the nowadays it also providing the vaccines to the school children also. So the schools are also available to provide the vaccines to the children also. And apart from the by the many centers also has been created to give the COVID vaccines. So by the proper mechanism for the providing the vaccine to the entire Indian people, the citizens of the India, this would be helpful also for the other country if they will provide the proper mechanism with the help of their schools and the offices, and providing the another healthcare centers where the specially can be created for the COVID-19 vaccines.
Yeah, okay. Thank you very much. It's very clear. Yeah.
Okay, thank you for the presenters, Dr. Prachi Vimotiani. And I need 3 questions here that Mr. Nadi Suprapto has given us 2 questions. So there is one change for the other participant, maybe? There is something to ask about Dr. Patty V. Motiani's presentation. Okay. If there is any question again, so I can go to the next presenters, maybe.
Yeah, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you. Miss Masluhatul Fitria, maybe? Ready to present your presentation? Miss Masluhatul. Miss Masluhatul, where are you? Okay. Miss Masluhatul, you can start your presentation, please. Okay. I'm going to the next presenter, Professor Dr. Pretik Rajan Mungeka, maybe you can start the presentation.
Hello, am I audible?
So you can start your presentation.
Okay. Okay. So firstly, I would like to congratulate the organizers of first virtual conference on multidisciplinary research. Thank you so much for inviting me, for having me. Now I would like to start with my talk, role of science and technology in 21st century. So India now ranks third in terms of the most attractive investment destinations for technology transactions globally, which definitely infers that scientific realms in India have progressed a lot. In the 21st century, India has found its place amongst the top countries in scientific research. For instance, in space exploration, with its moon mission and polar satellite launch vehicle, which is PSLV, India has climbed up in the top 5 nations for space research globally. In terms of market size, the expenditure in research and development has reached US dollar 96.50 billion in 2020, with almost 2% country's GDP share. India has introduced various funding policies that empower the nation to improve its key strategic industries, including space, energy, and the life sciences. Energy is one India's growing areas, which is currently receiving a considerable extent of focus. The Indian scientist has recently collaborated with the United States on an Indo-US initiative called the Solar Energy Research Institute for India, funded through the US-India partnership to advance clean energy. So the 21st century has also seen a boom in various technology business incubators that plans to grow budding ideas, thus connecting ideation to commercialization in terms of the burgeoning artificial intelligence. India has made progress with the inception of the National Artificial Intelligence Strategy, which is NITI, thereby paving the way for exploring the potential of artificial intelligence. Although we have access to funding for scientific developments, education should also evolve simultaneously to complement the scientific shooting. China graduates some 20,000 PhDs annually, and India must develop its educational thrust to compete with these countries. So programs such as the Innovation in Science Pursuit for Inspired Research program has accelerated the growth of quality scientists post 2000, thereby raising the question, can we improve this further? In India, a majority of the students opt for technology rather than studying business sciences due to the industrial career opportunities.
Yeah, guys.
India needs to work on this part to inspire and motivate young talents to take up basic sciences, thereby driving the country's primary research thrust. So with the focus on science, India is progressively marching towards becoming a global leader in industrialization and technological development. So the advent of nanotechnology in India shall also result in not only the biomedical sector, but also the nuclear sector to evolve. So India's new plan called Science, Technology and Innovation Policy 2020 plans to promote science more effectively and experts driven. As both challenges and hope lie ahead for India, our development optimism that shall steer our spotlight from challenges to hope soon. So technically, it's the science that is running the world. While both of them make sense, we cannot forget science and technology is the most important tool in the toolbox of those who are actually running the world. The entire concept of science and technological advancement is not just an integral part of today's world. Rather, it is the foundation of the advanced world we are part of today and the world we wish to build tomorrow. So science and technological advancement is the major key for development in fields like economy, health, education, communication, entertainment, and every field we can possibly think of. The modern approach for the study of history and theology and science is emerging fields that give a scientific approach to fields like history, culture, and religion. On a superficial level, we assume that there might be no connection of science with these fields, but a systematic and knowledge-based approach is what we need to prove otherwise. In today's world, science is not just a course and technology is not just the gadgets we use or the digital world we are part of. Science and technology are interdisciplinary fields that have the power to assist and work together with different aspects of life. Living in a world surrounded by technological advancement where we are astonished by new scientific discoveries every day, it would be sheer ignorance to deny the power of science and technology. There are many factors that are adversely impacting our world. This includes pollution, global warming, unsustainable development, epidemics, pandemics like corona, lack of social life among youths, and the least countries to go on. Every time we try to have discussion about these problems, there will always be one person who will say all this is because of technological advancement. Though this is a vague argument, it is quite popular. So science and technology are not the problems. Rather, how we decided to use this technology determines the consequences. For instance, the invention and development of vehicles were not the problems, but their unsustainable use surely is. So innovation in the field of computer science and development of the internet was not the problem, but using them to harm someone or breach their privacy is the problem. It all boils down to how we decide to use these advancements. So the role of science and technology in the world is ever changing with the increasing challenges in both the real and digital world. New discoveries and inventions will continue to develop and get commercialized. Today's concern is not just developing gadgets or equipment to make our life easier. There are challenges that we have to overcome, which warning, overconsumption of resources, lack of privacy, and so on. And no matter what these problems can only be mitigated when we acknowledge the importance of science and technology and utilize them effectively. Improving fields like machine learning and artificial intelligence are the tools for creating a sustainable world. Effective use of these fields is must to make the world a better place. Let's take an example. I'm an environmentalist, scientist, professor, and I live in a heavily polluted city like Mumbai. I decided to reduce the pollution in the city. There can be various approaches to this problem. One of the most general and popular approaches can be conducting an awareness program, urging people to be responsible. Another approach can be collecting data about the status of the pollution in the city, building a machine learning module, visualizing this data and presenting a viable prediction about the status of the city in a few months or few years. So this is just a simple example where machine learning is used for the presentation of a problem. Being able to use these tools can be handy to identify problems, present their adversity, and plays an important role to make people responsible and responsive, very important to solve them. The effective role of data science in the field of healthcare is undeniable. Analyzing medical images, improving diagnostic accuracy, advancement in pharmaceutical researches can be assisted by the help of data science. It has contributed to making this process easy, inexpensive, and reliable. Appropriate utilization of vast amounts of health data contribute to making effective decisions and advancement in the field of healthcare. It will be near to impossible to do these things without science and technology. So these are just simple instances of the power science give us when applied properly. We have a rich culture and history, concepts taught in Ayurveda that date back to 6000 BCE are being proved today with scientific facts, logistics, and evidence. Herbs like tulsi, turmeric, garlic, ginger are vital parts of our day-to-day diet for centuries, but their scientific importance has been discovered in recent days. Ayurveda had explained everything about the human bodies, its capabilities, its needs. We were not able to decipher the knowledge it gave for decades, but now there are institutions, research centers that work to understand those scripts, prove those claims. Instead of blindly following the rituals and traditions we were taught, now we have scientific research to back them. Eastern culture is rich and dates back to thousands of years. Now, by the use of natural language processing tools, scientific researchers and other mediums, we are actually learning from our origin and ancestors. This is an important impact science has made our rituals and culture widely acceptable and also logical. And from understanding our history to exploring the galaxy, science and technology are everywhere. There was a time when humans thought the earth is the center of the world and it is flat. That was a time, and today we have images of black holes rendering in space stations. We have come a long way. The universe is still mysterious. There are still many things out there that can astonish us. So science and technology still need to advance a lot. I need to conclude with this. We still need to build technology that will assist to prove theories and mathematical equations that are ahead of technology. Now, the world is eagerly waiting for the advancement of quantum computing. Quantum computing will revolutionize everything in the world today by exponentially increasing computing power. This field has the capability of solving problems like simulating nature, modeling complex algorithms that are beyond the power of classical computers. And lastly, I would like to say the importance and involvement of science and technology in fields like education, communication, entertainment is known to all and normal in today's world. Our day-to-day life is clear example of the impact science and technology has in this field. But limiting their potentiality to these fields only is equal to limiting our creativity and ignoring the applicability of science and technology. So being comfortable using advanced technologies and understanding the multidimensional ability of science is what we need to excel in the field we are passionate about. We need to treat science and technology as tools that prepare us for the journey we want to take. So with this, I would like to thank all the organizers and all the audience who are patiently listening to me. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you for the next presentation, Mr. Glucalization. It is related with our work petition, namely COVID-19 era, and there are some impact of this pandemic, especially for education. Yeah? But teacher can still do something to educate student by using technology like you have proposed just now. It is about e-learning. Okay, from Mr. Pratik's explanation, maybe there are some questions. It is limit for 3 questioners. Please, if there is something to ask about the material, you can raise your hand. Okay. Except Mr. Nadi, maybe.
Thank you. Thank you.
The other participant, maybe.
Hello.
Except Mr. Nadi. Okay. Because there isn't. So please, Mr. Nadi, you can deliver your question.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Pratik, for your presentation. I agree with your sentence that science and technology is very important in the era of society and technology. However, I would like to know your reason that you said that the young Indian prefer science and technology rather than business. So what is the reason? Okay, thank you.
Okay. Yeah, because see, nowadays science and technology is a subject which is interdisciplinary. You know, any course, any subject you can do, and it is related to many working opportunities. That's the reason why all the students are liking this science and technology, because we have biotechnology. It's a newly emerging branch. Nanotechnology. Okay, everywhere we are using this. Fingerprint technology, then screen, this touch screen mobile, or now we have touch screen laptops also, tablets also. So everything is is interdisciplinary in science and technology fields. So that's the reason why all students and educators are coming. They are liking so much this field. So that's the answer to your question.
Okay. Thank you, Dr.
Just
Pratik.
one question, Mr. Nadi.
Yes.
Okay, maybe for the other participant, there is something to ask for Mr. Dr. Pratik Rajan Mundekar. Please. There are just one question. Raise your hand, please. There isn't question anymore. Mr. Pratik Rajan, thank you for your presentation. Okay, next we are going to the next presenters. Miss Masluhatul Fitria, maybe.
Hello. I would like to talk one more thing.
Sorry.
Sorry. I would like to talk one more thing. The science and technology have the ability to blend in in with every discipline of life. So globalization and digitalization have made it possible for us to explore the world from any corner. Within a short period of about 2 decades, the world has completely altered from what it used to be. So the pace with which technology is advancing is exponential. And as human beings continue to try and make this world a better place, science and technology, will act as our helping hands. They will play the most important role to give the imagination of human beings as a physical form. So everything from artificial intelligence to self-driving cars begins their journey in someone's imagination and start advancing when that imagination is backed by science and technology. So you want to know what role science and technology will play as your imagination and what you want to build and what role you want to them to play. So that's also the another addition of Mr. Nadi's questions.
Okay, thank you, Mr.
Thank you, everyone.
How about you, Mr. Nadi? It is enough.
Yes. Okay. Thank you very much.
Next, we are going to the next presenters, Ms. Maslahatul Fitriah. Please start your presentation.
Okay, bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Good morning, everyone. Yes, let me introduce myself first. My name is Maslahatul Fitriah. I'm student of English Education Department in Universitas Islam Madura Pamekasan. And now we will discuss about an article with the title Semantical Analysis of Meaning in Slang Language Used by TikTok Users. Yes. Yes. Semantical Analysis of Meaning in Slang Language Used by TikTok Users. Okay, in the next slide, there is introductions, and the content of introduction here, there are a background of study. Yes, in the background of study here, language is very important in our daily life. Yes, absolutely. And semantic is a branch of linguistics that studies about meaning. It means that semantic studies about how to interpreting a language, but to understanding the meaning of a word. And slang is frequently used among younger speakers and other groups with special interests. 2014 on page 262. It means that slang is an informal language used by number or certain group for international communications. And TikTok is an application to support someone for express himself in the media social. Marini R. 2019 on page 11. And next, research problem. Yes, in this research problem here, there are two problems. What is the slang word used by TikTok user, and what is the semantical meaning of slang words used by TikTok users? And then in the research objective, to know the slang words used by TikTok users and to know the semantical meaning of slang words used by TikTok users. And next, research significant. Yes, here there are two significant. For the first, theoretically, this research can make a significant contribution to development of linguistics. Yes, especially in the field of linguistics. And then practically, the readers can a good understanding of the form of language on TikTok motivate to readers and for the other studies to investigate in further. And next slide, review of literature. Here, there are two theories. For the first theory of semantic, semantic is a branch of linguistics that is focused on the meaning of being used by almost all people, particular communication purpose. Griffith 2006. Yeah, it means that semantic is a branch of linguistics that study about meaning and also to understanding what is the meaning of that words. And B, theory of lexical meaning. According to Harimurti, in Pateda book said that lexical meaning is the meaning of the word in solicitation is the in form of shape lexeme affixes whose meaning more or less fixed. Particularly yes, it means that lexical meaning. It means that the meaning from dictionary, and then research method. Here, the researcher use in research design. This research use qualitative method. Yes. Why? Because this study discuss about control themes, which requires an understanding of the theory about the phenomenon use and objective data. And then data source, the source of data are taken from the TikTok social media. Yes, here the researcher use TikTok social media to get the source data. And data collection. Researcher collect the data through observation and communication technique. Yes. From observation, the researcher has to find out some evidence related to slang word in TikTok users account. For the first step, the researcher opened the TikTok applications, and the second, the researcher observes and collects sentence in the caption, comment, and TikTok content by encoding or noting those words which
Miss
are included.
Maslahatul Fitria, Metaphysic.
Okay. Okay,
Thank you
thank you for your nice attention. I'm so sorry if there is some mistake from me. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
It is such an interesting topic because I can see nowadays people prefer to use TikTok or like searching some videos about tutorial maybe and education and about entertainment. It's maybe the display of TikTok. It's very interesting with good quality of the videos and with short duration that the viewer cannot be bored when they watching the video from TikTok. So it's nice topic, I think. For the other participant, maybe there is something to ask for Miss Masluhatul Fitria. Just raise your hand.
sih mata mak gini sih.
Okay. For the participant, maybe there are something to ask for Miss Maslahatul. I need to question. Okay, there is no question.
Nothing, ma'am.
Okay, have there is a question for Miss Maslahatul Fitria. I can continue the next presentation from the other presenters. Okay, Mr. Sahil and Mr. Benny hasn't joined to this. Okay, for the next presenters, Mr. Nadi Suprapto.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. Let me share my screen. So please close your screen, Miss Masluhatul.
Miss Masluhatul, you can close your display. Masluhatul.
Okay, let me start my presentation. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for the opportunity for the first virtual international conference on multidisciplinary research in Universitas Islam Madura. I would like to present my paper entitled Glucalization of Madura School Racing, Structural Equation Modeling in Ethnophysics. You can see several weeks ago, I visit Madura Island, especially in Bangkalan Regency. I did with our team research we call research keilmuan or scientific research. This research was supported by LPDP, Ministry of Finance, with title Implementation of the GPR Program, Glucalization of Bull Racing in Tengket Village, Arosbaya, Bangkalan, Indonesia, to preserve Madura's local wisdom. So in this research, our team tried to provide an umbrella for undergraduate students' research, especially for bachelor thesis. And in addition, this research is resulted the output of Physics Local Wisdom, one of the course independent learning, independent campus, or MBKM in Indonesian government. So finally, one of our output present today. So as the information regarding Madura's bull racing is like a pair of cows compete quickly while pulling a series of wooden carts where the jockey stood and controlling the pair of cows. And as the history of Madura's bull racing, here we provide some picture. For the information, Prince Katandur from Sumeneb held a traditional ceremony at that time to celebrate the successful of harvest. So in our model, simple model that from bull racing, we try to preserve local wisdom and identify some concept in ethnoscience and ethnophysics. This is the example of a physics concept of bull racing. For example, in Newton's law, you can indicate F action equal to F friction, and then in part of tracking, still use Newton's law. In addition, another physics concept like work and energy, and then rectilinear motion and accelerated rectilinear motion, Stokes' law and torque were also deal with the physics concept of bull racing. And then how about the metaphysics in bull racing? Here some illustration. For example, a jockey of bull racing was chosen from people who were small to be a skill in controlling cows and ward off if there is a magical attack launched by the opposing party. Then, among cattle owners, there is an adage: even though the cow is fast, it doesn't necessarily become a champion if it is not compete inside and out. The cattle owner asks for help from traditional like kiai or religious leaders. So there are also those who seek the advice of fortune teller or shamans to guard against supernatural force sent by the opposing party. This example of metaphysics in bull racing. Another is about a poji or mantra in front of the cows before the start of the race, so that the cows can win the race. Thus, the metaphysical aspect influence bull racing. Next, for the hypothetical model of glucalization of bull racing, here I propose 8 hypotheses from number 1, ethnophysics and glucalization are covariant. Ethnophysics and ethnoscience are covariant. Number 3, ethnoscience and glucalization are also covariant. Number 4, ethnophysics has a significant impact to the metaphysics. Ethnophysics has a significant impact to bull racing research. Ethnoscience has a significant impact to bull racing research. Glucalization has a significant impact to bull racing research. And the last, metaphysics has a significant impact to bull racing research. This is our hypothetical model of glucalization of bull racing. After we determine the hypothetical model, so we conducted a survey research with online. After that, we The participant of survey research consists of 241 Maduris who understand bull racing as a local wisdom. The criteria of participant include the active student and alumni from universities in Indonesia, either from in Madura or outside Madura. And then we analyze the data with exploratory factor analysis and confirmatory factor analysis, especially with analysis of moment structure or EMOS. And here the criteria of AFA and CFA. For AFA, we should determine the loading factor, Cronbach alpha, and variant. The cutoff of loading factor was 0.40 according to Stephen. And in conducting CFA with SAM, we determine some criteria of a goodness fit indices like in a table, for example, Simin per DF, RMR, GFI, AGFI, NFI, until RMSEA, BGFI, and PNFI. Based on this criteria, so this is our data. From AFA or KMO, more than 0.8 with a part rate test significant. And the total variant explained including 5 factor with total variant is 68%, more than 68%. In this scale or GPR scale had a high internal consistency for assessing the glucalization of bull racing and were suitable for further exploration. This is the result of SAM analysis with EMOS. So our model become here. So if we compare with the proposing model or hypothetical model, there is a small difference. And how about model fit summary? Based on the all parameter, so the conclusion ranging from acceptable fit index until the good fit index. We can RMR in good fit index, PGFI a good fit index, and PNFA and good fit index. So based on the criteria, we can get the point of this result that the GBR scale fulfill the criteria of validity and reliability from the AFA result. And finally, the fit model from CFA with SAM is like here. So ethnocyan, Glucalization, ethnophysics, metaphysics, and bull racing research with impacts each other and covariant each other. So the conclusion of our research, the GPR scale is valid and reliable. The model fit is different with the hypothetical model. This is our reference, and thank you very much for your attention.
Okay, thank you for the nice and interesting discussion of Mr. Nadi. Very nice and discuss about our culture, especially the international conference for the other speaker from different to know more about Indonesia, especially Madura. Thanks, Mr. Nadi. Okay, maybe for the participant can be active by us. I need to question here for Mr. Nadi. Please raise your hand. Raise hand feature on Zoom. Maybe Dr. Preji, Dr. Sofyan, Asmahatul Fitriah, maybe to us about the interesting topic from Mr. Nadi. Okay, Mr. Nadi, I want to ask you, it is kind of ethnography research, right? Or what?
Yeah, actually, we conducted a full mixed method. However, in this presentation, I just present our survey study. Actually, we conducted quantitative and qualitative. And in this presentation, I just provide the quantitative data.
Okay. Why do you choose bull racing from Madura to
Yeah.
discuss your research?
Okay, thank you for the question. At the end of 2021, our government provide village research or research desa. So there are many students from Madura, especially from Bangkalan. And when we took the course Physics Local Wisdom, I asked to our student about their local wisdom, and some of them say that, how about kerapan sapi, sir? How about bull racing? And after that, I try to explore, understand, to know about bull racing, and I try to make a proposal to the government for research desa. And finally, we got the fund, and we visit the Madura Island. Yeah.
Before it, you have known about bull racing.
Actually, I know about bull racing, but not too much. I just know about how, bull racing competition and so on from YouTube. Yeah.
But now you have.
Yeah, I just know about like metaphysic in bull racing and some physics concept. Yeah, in this year. Yeah, after conducting the research.
Okay. Maybe my student here can know about the other kind of research
Yeah.
type research about education. Okay, there is a question anymore. Okay, thank you, Mr. Nadi.
Yeah, you are welcome. You are welcome.
Next, we are going to go to the other speaker. Mr. Face Nevi Parasal. Dr. Swita Sundari. Okay, our committee has called for Mr. Benny and Mr. Shahril, but Mr. Benny has trouble in his place with us, and for Mr. Shahril, there is no response. So in this Zoom meeting, the presenter have heard their presentation. Maybe you can wait for sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Please wait for the next presenters to be confirmed.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, all the presenters in room 3. Hello? Can you hear my voice? Hello? Coba ke Babsi aja. Ke Babsi aja. Iya. Oh iya, nggak bisa juga. Iya. Ini nggak ada suaranya. Hello, good morning, all the presenters in room 3. Can you hear my voice? Hello?
Hello.
Semua. Huh? Hello, good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
Mrs. Vita Sifani.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. It is the time for you to present your article. For a while, I change the moderator.
Okay, ma'am, I will.
You can start now.
Sorry, I have
Okay.
trouble just now.
Okay, may I start, ma'am?
For
Oh,
Miss Swita Sisyani.
yes, ma'am. Okay. So, good morning, everyone. I am Shweta Sivani from India, and I studied in Banasthali Vidyapeeth, University. So, my topic of my presentation is digital forensic. Let me start. Let me start, ma'am.
Halo, ya tadi kan
Halo.
Terus sementara saya ganti dulu moderator. Sekarang Bu Ina masuk lagi saya moderator ya. Saya keluar.
Hello, yes.
Ya, ya.
Can you open your video?
Okay. Yes, ma'am. May I start?
Okay, that's good. You may start.
Okay, I will. It's not technical issue, ma'am. Give me some time.
Hello, please, sir.
Yes, I will. Give me some second.
Okay.
I will start it. Is it visible? Oh shit! Wait.
That's good.
Ma'am, wait.
Belum tampil share screen-nya.
Ma'am, some screen error.
Apanya?
I can see, actually just now I can see your share screen dear, but now I cannot see your PowerPoint here.
I will. Yes, I'll start it.
Okay, maybe you can try again.
Yeah, I'll try.
Hello dear. Is
Yes,
it
ma'am.
possible?
Hello.
Hello, can you share
Yes.
your PowerPoint here?
Can I send you? And you will be share it.
Send in room 3. Is it room 3? Is it right? Yes, you can share
Okay.
it in the group and then the host will open your presentations.
Okay. I'll send it room 3. Done.
Okay, that's good.
Room 3. I'm sending, ma'am. I'm sending.
Ya PDF. PDF. Iya.
Hey, ma'am. Can you check it?
Okay, please wait for a moment, okay? It's still process to show your presentations here, dear.
Okay. Yes, this is my topic, digital forensic. So again, I introduce myself. I am Shweta Sivani from Banasthali Vidyapeeth in India. So I'm first year student of BSc Biotechnology in Banasthali Vidyapeeth. So let's start. May I start, ma'am? My topic is digital forensic. So digital forensic is the branch of forensic science that focus on identifying, acquiring, processing, analysis, and reporting on data stored electronically. Electronic evidence is a component of almost all criminal activity, and digital forensic support is a crucial of law enforcement investigation. The ninth phase of Ma'am, Mike, can anyone mute himself?
Okay, dear.
Okay. The term digital forensic was first used by synonyms for computer forensics. Since then, it has expanded to cover the investigation of any device that can store digital data. Although Computer Act, it wasn't until 1990s that it became a national policy on digital forensic emerged. Digital forensic is the process of identifying, preserving, analyzing, and documenting digital evidence. This is done in order to present evidence in court from law and when it required. Can you change slide, ma'am? Okay, digital forensic. What is the process of digital forensic? Identification, evidence of presentation, preservation, collection, examination, analysis, interpretation, document, evidence, preservation. Change the slide. Okay, the digital forensic process is shown in the following figure. Forensic life cycle phase. Preparation and identification, collection and recording, storing and transporting, and examination and investigation, analysis and interpretation, and attribution, reporting, testifying. Legal aspects of digital forensic topic discussed include constitutional law, property law, contract law, tort law, cyber crime, criminal procedure evidence law, cyber war. In addition, some special associate problem has an overarching area identified a consideration of for future research. Challenge for digital forensic, high speed and volume, explosion of complexity, development and standard privacy preserving investigation, legitimacy, rise of anti-forensic technique. Some problem with forensic science, they include an over-reliance on forensic analysis method that lack federal regulation of crime lab and allowing a trial to testimony by expert witness with unweighted proficiency. Unresolved on bias, conflict on interest, and claim. Sometimes forensic testimony fail to include information on the limitation of the method used to analysis, such as the method, error rate, and situation in which that method has not been shown to valid. Future benefits of digital forensic, the ability to easily trends or relevant data order over period of time. Fluctuation and trending lines can be analyzed further for false positive potential risk factor. The quick identification and extraction of certain risk criteria from the entire data population for analysis. Advantage of digital forensic. It helps in the companies to capture important information if the computer system or network are compromised, efficiently track the cybercrime criminal from anywhere in the world, help to protect the organization money and valuable time. Here is the conclusion. With a computer become more and more involved in our everyday lives, with professionally and socially, there is a need for computer forensic. The field will enable to crucial electronic evidence to be found, whether it was lost, deleted, damaged, or hidden, and used to prosecute individuals that believe they have successfully beaten the system. That's all. Thank you for hearing me.
Thank you. Sweta for the informative interesting. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, now
Your voice is not clear, ma'am. Can you speak properly?
okay. Sorry. Okay, for the other participant, maybe there are something to ask or Miss Sweta's explanation. I need to question here.
Miss Ina. Hello,
Yeah.
Miss Ina. Okay, that's clear.
Everyone can hear my voice clearly.
Can you speak loudly, ma'am?
Okay. You can hear my voice, Miss Sweta.
Yes, I am clear. Yes, this time you are clear.
For the other participant, please delivering some question for Miss Sweta's explanation about digital forensic, right, Miss Sweta? Okay. There is some question. Okay, Miss Sweta, there is some question about your material. So, thank you for your presentation. Next, we are going to the next presenters. Okay, next presenters, Mr. Sahril. Are you ready for presentation? Mr. Sahril, can hear my voice? Mr. Sahril. Mr. Sahril, are you there? Okay, Mr. Sahril, where are you? Mr. Sahil. Mr. Sahil has sent the material. Okay, there are two presenters who don't present the presentation. There are Mr. Sahil and Mr. Vaishnavi Parasat from India. Wait for Mr. Vaishnavi Parasat to join. Mr. Face Sarasar. Mr. Face Nevi Parasar, are you there? Mr. Face Nevi Parasar.
/D/0/2002 dan telah terakreditasi secara institusi berdasarkan SK nomor 672/SK/BAN/PT/PPJ/PT/9/2020. UIN sengaja dirancang untuk mencetak sarjana muslim paripurna yang mendorong kecerdasan moral, spiritual, serta peka terhadap perkembangan ilmu pengetahuan dan teknologi. Oleh sebab itu, dalam mendorong terbentuknya insan kami tersebut, maka UIN Pamekasan telah mengintegrasikan segenap pelaksanaan tridharmanya kepada konsep 5 menara ilmu. Konsep tersebut telah menjawab karakteristik lulusan yang tidak hanya profesional dalam karya, akan tetapi juga memiliki kematangan intelektual, nilai nasionalisme yang kuat, konsep ideologis yang bertumpu pada keimanan, dan nilai-nilai kearifan lokal. Maka, dengan kerangka konseptual manajerial tersebut akan menghadirkan sebuah komitmen yang kuat dalam mengembangkan keilmuan yang berpeningkatan iklim akademik, tata kelola yang mendorong terciptanya Good Governance University, serta mampu menopang keberlangsungan NKRI dengan generasi saintis yang Qurani.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. Selamat datang di Kampus Hijau Universitas Islam Madura.
Check. For Mr. Face Nevi Parasar, are you there? Mr. Face Nevi Parasar, you can start your presentation. Hello, Mr. Mr. Face Nevi Parasar. Okay. Actually, Mr. Face Nevi Parasar cannot join with us today. And about Mr. Sahril, he have informed me that their team has listen material in the room 5. So I think all presenters have delivered their presentation today in this conference. And okay, ladies and gentlemen, we finally come to the end of the parallel session. Before I close this parallel session, I would like to thank to the speaker or presenters, especially from several countries, for attending this virtual conference, and for all participants. Finally, please give the applause for all presenters and for you all, and I say thank you for your coming on this virtual conference, and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.